Okay, we're going to talk about parametrics. So we're going to be working tomorrow, getting out of parametric and getting in terms of y equals or x equals, okay? X equals t squared minus 2, y equals 3t, okay? So remember, we did a little bit of this today. Let's get t by itself. And the easiest place to do that is probably here. Okay, here I've got a t squared, so let's just go y equals 3t. If I divide both sides by 3, I get t by itself. It equals y over 3. So now I can take this and go into here and say x equals, what am I putting in for t? That's what it equals, y over 3. And that's squared minus 2. So x equals y squared over 9, because 3 squared, this whole thing is this gets squared and this gets squared, minus 2. Okay? And I'm trying to think if that's, right now I've got, let me multiply both sides by, let's see, I'm going to add, if we want to get y by itself, if we want x by itself, this is fine. This is basically what? I've got x equals y squared. It's going to be a horizontal parabola. If I want to get it in terms of, let me see what they asked for. A sec. They wanted, if they ask for y, solve for x in terms of y, that means they want x equals. If they solve for y, solve for x in terms of y, yeah, it'd be x equals, solve for y in terms of x, it's y equals. So anyway, this will be a parabola. I can also get it in terms of y squared equals x. Let's see if I want to get y by itself. I want to get rid of this denominator. So I multiply both sides by 9. Okay? So this gets me 9x equals 9 times this is y squared. Okay? Because the 9 over the 9 cancels out, and 9 times this is 18 minus 18. Okay? And what the book works out is, I've got 9x, I'll add 18 to both sides, and I'll end up with y squared equals 9x plus 18, or I could rewrite that y squared equals 9 times x plus 2. Okay? So it depends what they're asking for. And in this example, it says eliminate the parameter, identify the graph of the parametric curve. There's different ways you can graph it. You can go ahead. The big thing is solving for t, getting t by itself, so t equals, and substituting back in. I can graph this with this function of, let's see, function of x or y equals. So that's going to be a little more complicated. What do we have before that? Remember, function of x, if you're in function of x is basically y equals. And right now I've got y squared. Up here I had x equals. So this is what I need to graph if I want to keep it in just the function. Because on your worksheet tomorrow, on your textbook, you're going to do about 10 problems or whatever, but they want you to graph, see what type of graph it is. Is it parabola, line, circle? So if your function of x, that's y equals. Okay? So this is going to be difficult to graph because I don't have, this is y squared and this is x equals. So let's graph it parametrically where x equals t squared minus 2 and y equals 3t. So I kind of worked myself through this. Function of x basically means y equals. Well, here I've got y squared, here I've got x equals, so none of these are going to work for me, but the parametric will, so let's go parametric. I can go, right now it's in function, so menu, 3, and parametric is 3, and x was t squared minus 2, and remember you got to put in t with parametric, t squared minus 2, okay? And 3t was my y, and then my 0 to, they got like 0 to 2 pi here, they're still like doing the radian things, but I can just put in, I'm going to change this to maybe like my range to 200 is overkill, and get rid of the 0 and make it like negative 200. Alright? And my step, it doesn't really matter, it can be 0.13, I don't really care, you can make it 1.13, let's hit enter. Okay, notice my parabola, okay? It's horizontal, okay? And we're not going to get all of the conics aspect of it, okay? All right, let me check the time real quick. 5 minutes. All right, so real quick, here's number... So that's me graphing it parametrically. So it's a parabola horizontal. Here's another equation. Let's graph it parametrically. I think it's... let's go back to this. I've got tab. I'm going to change this 2t squared minus 2. I think I have, I messed up there. So 2t squared minus 1. And this new one was just y equals t, so I'm going to delete that. Y equals t. Okay, so t squared minus 1, so I'm changing this, and let me just hit enter. Here's my new graph, so now it's opening up to the other side. Okay, and here's my parameters. So that's how we're going to go ahead and graph it. Okay. Solving for this, very easy. Remember, this one we don't have to do anything. How simple is this? This is number 18, which, you know, I'm having to do the odd problems. Y equals t. So I'm just going to plug in x equals 2y squared minus 1. Okay? If they want to solve in terms of, I think what did they ask for in this problem? They said, eliminate t, solve for x in terms of y. So that's what they're asking for. They said solve for x in terms of y. So x equals, in this term, y. So that's basically x equals y squared is a horizontal parabola. Okay? And that's going to open up this way. And if they said solve for y in terms of x, that'd be y equals. Okay? So basically substitute, get t by itself, substitute, and get your equation. And here it is, okay? So we got rid of t. Eliminate the parameter, okay? Graph it. So your equation, your assignment for tomorrow is to do that. Eliminate the parameter, get it in this type of function, whatever they ask for. This one asks for solve in terms of, solve for x in terms of y. Get this equation and graph it and say what type of graph it is. Parabola, circle, etc. All right? That's all I have. Have a good day tomorrow, okay?